Hey everyone, welcome to Forza Horizon, where I have immediately created a traffic jam. Let's get moving, but this is my very first video on Forza Horizon, so I'm pretty excited. Actually, this is the first video I've done on any Forza game on this channel, I believe. Mostly just because I didn't have an Xbox. I mean, I still don't have an Xbox One, but now I have a Windows 10 PC, so I can play this game and others within the Windows library. So I'm pretty excited to try out some different ones. We're going to be playing Forza Horizon 4 today. Specifically, we're going to be doing a build with one of my favorite cars of all time. Actually, probably my favorite car of all time. Let's build an R33 GTR. So I played a bit of this game, not that much, but I've got 37 cars. Most of them just came from wheel spins. I would say my favorite of the lot is this one though. Let's customize it. I haven't done that yet. I figure it's a good time though. May as well make a video on it. Now, before we go too far, I should say I have had a few issues with this game, specifically in terms of recording it. It really does not work well with OBS, so I'm having to record my entire screen, which means the frame rate might not be great. Also, it conflicts with OBS in a way that means it doesn't run at 144 Hz like it normally does, which, I mean, it's a bit of a first world problem, but I would like it to run at the normal frame rate when OBS is open, but it doesn't, so I've had to half that. Anyways, it doesn't matter too much for YouTube, so we need to decide what kind of class we're going to put this car in. And I was thinking as well, I know we do have a few engine swap options. We can go for a 6.2 V8 or the Turbo Rally engine. I believe those are just standard options in most cars. But I don't know, I think I'm going to keep all-wheel drive. I think I'm going to keep the stock engine. Let's just upgrade it to the max and see where it puts us. So if you're unfamiliar with the Forza setup, basically you just slap on parts until your car moves up in classes. I'm not too concerned about what class I'm in this game with the cars that I have, or I'm not really like building cars for a specific way. I'm just building them in a way that I like them. But I've always liked the Forza upgrade system, just never really had a chance to use it until now. Alright, so that is every engine upgrade without going and swapping turbos, which we don't have the option of doing, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and do brakes then. Handling is pretty important, as they're currently saying. Oh wow, the car just got a lot lower. Oh, we're gonna end up stancing this without even trying. Well, roll cage unfortunately adds a bit of weight, but we'll take that right back out, 282 kilos off. This car is already up to S-Class. Yikes. I don't think I have any cars much higher than S1, so it'd be interesting to try that. I like all the little details when upgrading, like things losing weight, even just a small amount of it. It's cool. Alright, so wheels are pretty important. We need to pick a proper tire compound for what we're planning on doing. It's not drag racing, it's not rally racing either. We're just going to use the, I don't know, Horizon race compound. Seems to be good enough for me. And wheel width, should we go for the widest possible wheels? Absolutely. And rims, yeah, we need to pick different rims. No idea which ones though. They've got some funky rims in this game, like look at these. What on this earth? But we'll try and find something a little bit classy, perhaps. Oh, I do like these rally wheels. Oh, bit of a weakness for those. I actually like these wheels quite a bit. I think we're going to go with these. They make us lose a bit of weight, so that's not a bad thing. We just need to increase the rim size quite a bit. Perfect, 20s. And why not increase the width as well? It's a good thing I've been saving all this money, because my goodness, this car is getting expensive. Anyway, let's put some aero on this. So we do have a couple options in terms of front bumpers. Particularly this one unlocks the ability to tune downforce. I don't think we need that yet, but I do want to go for something styling wise. I really like the stock look of this car. Like the R33 is a really good looking car in my opinion. But I mean, we kind of need to change it if we're going to be building it like this. We could just go for a nice stock look, but there are other options. Like this bumper is pretty close to stock. It keeps a lot of the same features. It just doesn't look as good though. Okay, we'll leave the front the same. What options do we have for rear wing? Oof, that's not good. Okay, that's pretty much the same thing except a different brand. Forza adjustable doesn't look too great, and just empty. You know what? We have to leave that the same too. Back bumper could probably use a bit of work. None of those really match. Okay, we'll just go for this one. I think that one probably matches the best. Side skirts, ooh. We're starting to border on the very strongly mismatched territory. but I think that these ones probably work the best, so we'll go with those. And there's only one hood option for this car. It looks pretty decent, so let's throw that on there too. Alright, well that's the build there. Let's install that setup. We just still need to do paint and such, but unfortunately that is S2, just the bottom of S2, so 901. That's a pretty good class to be in. Alright, so we are on to designs here. We've got paint car, we've got vinyls. I haven't explored this at all yet, so I figure we'll probably just go ahead and paint the car. We do have a lot of options though, my goodness. So tints, yikes. We can actually have a red or like multicolored tint. I'm really not sure if that's a good idea or not. We'll just stick with the regular on that one, I think. Rim color, this is something that I definitely wanted to change. Oh, special colors, yikes. Pearlescence, oh wow. Yikes, okay, never mind. Do have a couple hydro dipped options as well. It's a little bit different than automation. Camo rims, ooh, that's bad. Oh, okay, no thank you. So let's respray the whole car before we get too crazy. I already painted the mirrors black. I do like this silver a lot, and we do have a couple other manufacturers' colors. Ooh, that red is nice. Yikes. Oh, that is really nice, with black wheels as well. Okay, that's definitely on there. A little bit darker is really nice as well. That blue is sweet. Ooh, that purple though, that is always a classic color for these cars, and then black. I think I'm going to have to go with the slightly darker manufacturer red, and it looks like I'm going to have to reapply the paint to the rims that I had before. Yeah, there we go, just like that. And probably the same thing for the mirrors, we'll make those black just to have them a bit of an off color. I think that might be it. It's looking pretty good though. Alright, my R33 is ready to go. Nice red and black look. Very clean looking car. It looks pretty stock except for the back bumper and the side skirts and obviously the rims and the hood as well, but yeah, it's just a nice looking car. I'm definitely down with that. Let's go ahead and do some races with this car. I have been doing a few off-road things here and there. This car is definitely more prepped for the track though, so let's go ahead and do this Road Racing Series Festival, and we'll move on from there. Oh yeah, so I should probably mention what kind of settings I'm using in game. So I'm using a controller. I had planned on using my wheel for this, but upon testing, and I actually recorded a video on it and then ended up deleting it because I just wasn't happy with it, the wheel doesn't work that great in this game, and I'll have to explain why in a bit, but it just doesn't work too well. It's not the wheel's fault, it seems to be my setup, and I definitely need some help with that if anybody's got some advice. I did look up some things, but yeah, you never know. Ooh, that car is nice, especially in the spotlight here. So let's go ahead and do this event. We'll see how well I can do with a controller. I'm using manual shifting. Most of the assists are on like half or whatever. But yeah, you can see I've got a difficulty bonus of plus 55. So let's go ahead with it. Oh boy, here we go. Up against a bunch of other Skylines and GTRs of different kinds. And a couple of other interesting vehicles here as well. Looks like an RX-7. These Road Racing Series ones are pretty interesting. Is that a clown shoe in front of us as well? Oh goodness. I definitely like the way that this game does its races, seeing as they're most of the time within the actual game world, especially those off-road ones. I like having an open course like that. It's just more fun to me than the real courses a lot of the time. Well, this car is in S2, I believe it was. It doesn't feel that much faster than it did before. I don't know, maybe I just accidentally didn't apply that upgrade or something, but it feels pretty much the same. Probably because every car around us would be upgraded to be in the same class as us, so that would make the most sense. But we are gaining on these guys, these two blue cars up here, and the yellow Lotus up in front. I think it's a Lotus at least. Or at least, I mean, Porsche right in front of me. 350Z, obviously. Big fan of those. It's unfortunate, they do have some Infinities in this game, but some of the more recent Infinities haven't been too good. So it's good to see one of the older Nissans in here. So I guess I could talk about my hopes for this series. I'm hoping to sort of break into Forza a little bit, just be able to play some of it on the channel occasionally. My idea for the channel is actually to alternate weeks between Forza and my summer car, as well as automation videos every week, so that's the idea at the very least. The next couple weeks are going to be different because I have a couple weeks off, but that means that I'll be able to make a ton of content, It's gonna be good. It's gonna be like being a full-time YouTuber for 3 weeks. But after that, I'll still have to go back to work, so yeah, I can only dream a little bit. I should also say I'm on average Drivatar difficulty. I don't have it on expert or anything like that. I'm really not good enough to play against expert AI yet. Eventually I'll get there and probably get bored of the current difficulty setting that I'm on, but I still need practice. So I've already said a few bad things about this game, or at least things that I was struggling with, but I must say that I am very engrossed in this game. I like it a lot. It's a lot of fun. It's sort of like my dream car game of the past, having so many different vehicles. I remember I used to watch a lot of AR12 gaming's videos on the older Forzas, like Forza Horizon 3, I believe it was back then. That was a couple of years ago. Oh wow, okay, so they're all in S1. See, there might be no surprise that we won that one, but I'm thankful at the very least. Yeah, it's kind of funny that it has my avatar up there. It's just Lara Croft everywhere in Forza. And the wheel spin, of course. They always want to give you a wheel spin in this game. That's how I've gotten all of my cars so far. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to have to buy a car because I just keep getting them in wheel spins. Probably the more rare ones, but it doesn't seem worth it at all to buy any. Well, it looks like a barn find is ready, but I'm kind of intent on doing a few more races. Maybe we can do a street scene race. Perhaps that could be interesting. So yeah, I'll keep talking about what I was talking about before. AR12 Gaming, he used to do these videos in Forza Horizon 3. I remember I actually got into his channel because of Top Gear challenges. Not that I'm going to copy that or copy builds and things in general. I'm going to try and find my own style, but I sort of am inspired by that, although I haven't watched his channel for a long time. Yeah, that's sort of where I got the idea, or at least the desire to play Forza. And my goodness, it's getting dark here in game. Well, hopefully this event can lighten things up just a little bit. Oh yeah, I am interested in playing with the community, so if you want to join me on these things, make sure to be on the Discord, because before I do anything like that, I'll be announcing it on there in the announcement section. So let's go ahead and try this one. Looks like it's going to be a pretty fast race up against some pretty... oh, those look like supercars. Oh boy. I guess that's what you get when you jump into this class. Okay, I shifted up a little bit too early there, but we are passing a Pagani, so I think those upgrades might have worked. Although I did just get every upgrade in the book. There's a Lamborghini up there as well. But this game, I mean, it's not so much about the car, it's about the upgrades. I heard that all-wheel drive swap vehicles are generally the fastest, so we might have to pull out some shenanigans there and all-wheel drive swap a Mustang or something. Oh yeah, I also really want to get the Ferrari 288. Oh boy. Okay, I just crashed into some AI traffic there, but yeah, there are a few cars in this game that I'm very keen on getting, and that is one of them. Well, I just dropped down into 9th after crashing into that pedestrian. I'm sorry to whoever I absolutely nailed there. It looked like a black Audi or something. But I am falling behind pretty drastically in this street race, and there's an X5. Well, I put on realistic damage, and honestly I definitely am thinking about turning that off, because it ends up spoiling a lot of races. I just end up getting destroyed partway through and not being able to finish the race or be able to do any better than I'd like, just because I'm damaged and pulling to the side, or the gears are messed up in the car or something, which is kind of the case right now, as I'm getting passed by literally everybody. Alright, I decided to restart. This time I'm going to take a better crack at it and attempt not to crash into too many cars or play too violently. As I say that, I immediately crash into a Pagani. We definitely have to get a Hyra or Wyra at some point. That's going to be a pretty sweet car to build as well. Oh yeah, if you have anything that you want to see me do in this game as well, just let me know. I'm definitely interested in some community feedback on this. And I'm hoping to keep making videos pretty much regardless of how like things go views wise. Like sometimes I do a new series and it doesn't really, or I do a new video and it doesn't work out as well as I would have hoped it does. Sometimes that's my fault, sometimes it's just not interesting enough to this community at the very least, and I'm looking for your opinion on that. But I'm thinking I'll give Forza at least a few chances. It won't just be one video, it'll be at least 3. Ah, come on. Thank goodness for rewinds. Being able to rewind in-game is something that I'm so not used to. I haven't been able to do this since Grid, so it's been a while. Right, I'm still in 9th, so I'm not doing great, but at least I'm not in last like I was before, we are at least one good corner away from catching up to at least the person behind, immediately in front of us, I mean, which might be possible here. Ooh, there we go, just a bit of a drift in and we've passed that orange car. Pagani on the right, and Pagani on the behind now. Yikes, that Lamborghini up there is something special. At least I think it's a Lamborghini, I'm pretty sure it is. This game reminds me that I don't know cars as well as I thought. There are quite a few here that I just would not recognize. I mean, taking place in Europe though, having a lot of European cars as well, most of them I won't know. Just because, I mean, we don't really see them here. In the Great White North, at least nobody wants to bring them out. It's too cold. Mind you, back when I was in college, I did see quite a few very expensive cars in the college parking lot. But that was Toronto, so you can kind of guess why that would be. Spoiler, there are a lot of very wealthy people in Toronto, that's why. Well, I finished in 6th. I'm not necessarily happy with that, but I'm gonna keep it. Looks like we were behind in the S-Class by a pretty significant amount. Somebody was up to 948 there, so I'm using that as an excuse. No, it's honestly just my poor driving, but we'll get there. Not getting the right shifts on time is probably what's killing me the most. I could drive auto, but I am trying to learn manual, and we're slowly getting to the point where I'm able to actually win races, as you saw with the last one. Okay, there's a big showcase event down here. Showcase is very much reminding me of something that I also do. There's also a stunt driver thing there, which might be interesting, but let's do one more race with this car and then we'll try something else. Here we go. There is a short circuit from the looks of things. Looks pretty round. Not going to be too bad. Let's drive on over there, see what this is about. Oh yeah, now it's turning to day, so you can really see that red paint. Just a nice looking car. I remember a couple years ago, I was looking at these on like a Japanese importing site, because you can import one of these in Canada. It's legal at this point. And they were going for 26,000. A decent like GTR, not necessarily v-spec, but a GTR. From Japan, decent kilometers, like decent shape, 27 grand, let's say. That obviously doesn't include shipping and stuff, but that was a pretty reasonable price, and I really wish I was at the point where I could buy one back then. At this point, I mean, I could buy one, but it wouldn't be a good financial decision, so it's unfortunate that they've also gone up to 40,000. Their value is increasing steadily, and I'm sure that when the US is able to import these, it's going to be even more. And I'm a little sad because they're slowly going out of reach of what I can actually buy. Alright, we're moving on to another event, this one another street circuit. That's basically all I've been doing, but it looks like we have a Sylvia and a few other cars here to go up against. Is that a TVR? Okay, I guess that does qualify for retro. And there appears to be, I don't know what that thing is, but there's a Porsche up there. Looks like a BMW from those taillights. Interesting. Actually, that's another GTR. Oh, and there's a Miata as well. A couple GTRs up there that we have to fight up against. Unfortunately, I've lost my wing, which is a bit of a defining factor of this car. Well, I'm not doing as hot as I would like, at least not as hot as this red color is. These circuits are pretty short, so the longer gearing and stuff doesn't really work out for them. You might have noticed as well, I didn't actually tune this car at all. I just upgraded it and then just decided to send it. I need to look up how to tune these cars properly, because I'm like just terrible at that. That's one of those things in racing games that I've never actually done, even in Dirt Rally. Yeah, cringe while you can. Yikes, that Mazda sounds like a rotary. I don't know if that's a swappable engine in that car, but goodness, that's a very high-pitched squeal. It's not something you'd expect to hear from that. See, I could just swap this car with a 6.2 V8 and probably make more power that way, but again, I'm pretty happy with the stock engine, at least for now. Eventually we'll turn this car up to 11. See, originally when I was playing this, I picked the Ford Focus RS, and I was thinking that I would end up just sticking with that car for most things, but then I saw that they had this one. It's like, of course they have to have this one. And they've also got an Infiniti, I think, Q60 coupe, or it's a G37, one of the two, possibly even both. So I definitely want to get that going as well, because it's probably the closest car to the one that I actually own. I remember I have Forza Motorsport 4, and there's a G35 or 37 coupe in there, and that's the car that I decided to roll with the most. Well, I made it up into first without really trying too hard. Unfortunately, the street circuit ones seem to be a lot more challenging than these ones. It's pretty easy to get past those guys in these like wider areas. Can slightly cut corners and yeah, just general cheatiness to get that going. There is also a battle royale mode in this game, which I did try in my last attempt at making this video. I didn't do particularly well, but it was pretty interesting. I just found that a lot of the time I was just frantically searching for a car, just like, well, what do I do now? Just wandering around trying to find one. Anyway, that's another first place in the bag there. And you can see why I was just a little bit ahead of everybody in class. And there we go, Lara Croft wins again. Probably the best looking car of the bunch. So I figured let's go ahead and try the showcase. I think it has something to do with racing against motorbikes. We'll give that a go. And also we could probably do some off-road racing. That could be fun. I do have, I think I have a Range Rover for that, so could be kind of interesting. Right, this one is not too far away. It's just down the highway. Playing games like this, I'm always a little worried that there's copyrighted music, so I'm pretty thankful that it has the option to turn the radio off as default, plus it has the option of streamer mode, which uses songs that I'm guessing aren't copyrighted, or at least won't be flagged on YouTube for it, so that's kind of a good thing. And another board to break here. Boom. Not bad. Whenever I see a game like this that just has so much going on, I kind of become immersed into it, like I just want to complete everything. I guess that's kind of a bad thing, at least when I'm as busy as I have been, but now that I've got a bunch of time, I think I'm going to end up playing a little bit too much of this. Probably end up streaming it a lot too over the next couple weeks, so pay attention for that. Off-road in this car, rest in peace the paint job. Well, it'll just spawn back, but we're discovering more roads, that's not a bad thing. Let's go ahead and try the showcase event. These are usually pretty spectacular, so we'll give it a go. Oh, Fiesta ST, not bad. This is one of my, probably one of my favorite Ford cars. I'm a big fan of the STs and the RSs, except for the Edge ST. I mean, why? I swear they made us do something like this right at the beginning of the game. We're going to be racing against 4 dirt bikes in the Fiesta ST, so hopefully we can beat them. I find a lot of these events, they seem to be very highly scripted. Actually, is this the exact same race? Goodness, I feel like this is the same track. Anyways, there's this one where you're racing a hovercraft, and there are a couple points where you have to meet the hovercraft at the exact spot, so it doesn't matter how badly you're doing, from what I can tell at least, you'll always run into that hovercraft at that time. And the same thing with the train, it's the same deal. You'll always run into the train at the same time, so it's odd, I don't know. I think they'll probably end up doing the same thing with these dirt bikes, so it really just comes down to these showcases being a just run on the track. Like you can see there that dirt bike doing a flip, like that was a scripted event, that didn't happen naturally. So it doesn't really matter how I do against them, it's just how I race in general. It's more like a time trial with a bit of flair to it, which is okay. I kind of wish for a little bit more. Yeah, this seems to be the exact same as the first event. I don't know if they're just asking us to be able to do it again, or if there's a twist at the end of it, but it even has the same dialogue, so I don't know, kind of interesting. Maybe it's just a more challenging version or something like that. So far, not so much. I mean, we're doing pretty good. 4 out of 5, but we'll be constantly losing dirt bikers as this time goes on, because I guess that's just how they make it a little bit easier for you.
Looks like I'm the only one left.
And then in the end, you just have to race the blue guy all the way down, and we'll hopefully be able to beat him. Oh, that was incredibly close, but we did indeed beat him by very, very small amount. And another wheel spin, of course. I mean, I'll take it. Let's see what we get this time. Hopefully, ooh, I think I already have the Deluxo Coupe. I wonder what happens if you get something twice. Hopefully, it just gives you money for it, because there are like 700 and something cars in this game, and that could get confusing quickly. Well, it looks like I got a few perks to spend. I don't exactly know what a lot of these things do. Influence from skills banked in free roam. I mean, this seems like it's just passive things. As we're running around in free roam, we gain more skill points. It seems like you get points for everything in this game. Okay, let's go do one more thing and then that'll be it for the video. How about we go and try, let's see. So there are a couple more road races, a couple more off-road series and things. What about the dirt racing series? Actually, there's one right here. Let's go ahead and try that one. I believe this is with the Range Rover. It might be with this car. Either way, it should be fun. Oh, looks like it's going to be in this car. Well, let's go ahead and do it. This is going to be weird. So it looks like that one car was a Lotus, interestingly enough. This car being an S-Class, or S2 class, I forgot which ones these ones are. These retro ones I believe are S1, but they're very high S1, so I guess it's close enough. Alright, here we go. Let's hope I don't have to do this one a few times. Being an off-road race, it's bound to be challenging. These off-road sections are usually pretty tough. And the Lotus is unfortunately falling behind in acceleration. But everybody else is really flying up there, goodness. Well, there's a 300ZX. We'll just pass that guy real nice and easy. Nice Sylvia up there. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Well, there's a Miata up here too, and an R32 in first place. Hopefully we can pass that guy, prove which generation is better. Well, not too hard here once again. We're coming up close to the leaders. So far so good. We haven't even gone off-road, so I don't know when that part of the race actually starts. It might not. I might have just misread it. Oh, major downshifting into this corner, and there we go. Now we're off-road. Well, I do have the benefit of having all-wheel drive. This Miata, unless it's swapped to be all-wheel drive, it appears it has a rotary engine, so we have to get a Miata just to try that, to see if we can swap in a rotary engine. But I don't know if it's all-wheel drive swapped or not. It might be. Probably is if it's competing in the dirt races. If you've watched the subscriber showcases, then you'll probably know that we tend to do a vote on them to determine the looks of the cars and kind of figure out who's actually going to make it through to the finals, basically the racing portion, because we can't race everybody. But anyways, this next upcoming showcase in January shouldn't be starting until mid-January, most likely. We will be doing something a bit different, most likely. Probably going to be using a point system very similar to Forza to try and classify each car. Now, at this point, it's obviously very new, so we can't just use it as a definite classification, but it'll be pretty interesting to see what kind of class people's cars fall into based on our scale. Well, there are a ton of events left, but that's going to be it for this video. I've still got a lot of things to go. I haven't bought the deluxe version yet, but if this video is interesting to people, then I will indeed buy the deluxe version. We'll have all this other stuff. Fortune Island, Lego, all that kind of thing. It's gonna be great. But yeah, like I said, that's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments. I'm gonna keep doing small videos like this here and there. This one's a bit shorter than usual, but I'm having fun with it, and that's all that really matters to me. So yeah, we'll keep going with this. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you're going to be interested in this content, as well as all the other stuff going around. I'm going to keep making videos as the weeks go on here into 2020. Things have been really good so far this year, though. I'll be making a bit of a wrap-up as we go forward. But anyway, that's it. No matter how many times I say that's it, I've always got some people I need to thank. This time it's Canadian Steel, Slow Fried Chicken 69, Overlord Justin, That Riced Out Explorer, and QT Bear. Thank you for supporting me, and by the way of the join button, I appreciate it a lot. If you want to support me in this way, be sure to click that join button, and the advanced supporters are the ones who get called out, so thank you.